The White House says its fraud task force has already rooted out more than $32 billion worth of fraud. Now, House Republicans are targeting a shocking case of potential waste in California. A recent report we brought you first right here on America Reports claims that state spent nearly $190 million on tablets for prison inmates, including death row killers and child predators, with some allegations that those inmates even used them to groom kids online.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer is demanding answers from Governor Gavin Newsom and asking whether federal tax dollars were used. He'll join us, and he joins us now. Thank you, sir. So we're keeping a look at the White House here. As soon as we see the vice president, we'll head to the White House live to carry his remarks there. But first, your thoughts on this and what questions you have.
Well, obviously, the first question is, were you using federal tax dollars? We believe they were, but we want to make sure that we're not looking at this and this is fuzzy math. But at the end of the day, you think about all the school kids in public schools all across America that need tablets. They need material. And in California, Governor Newsom is using tax dollars to provide these tablets for inmates who were communicating and harassing people on the outside. That's a terrible use of taxpayer dollars. The inmates aren't even supposed to be communicating with people on the outside. But again, this is another example of liberal leadership in California by Gavin Newsom and an utter disregard for the American taxpayer.
This is some from the House Oversight Committee on California's taxpayer-funded prisoner digital tablet program from the GOP probe. It reads, these shocking revelations about prisoner tablet use call into question the federal funds and grants given to California for the specific purpose of reducing crime and rehabilitating criminals, just as California's prisoner tablet program repeatedly achieves the exact opposite purpose. This is from Chris Rufo and Haley Strack on the California death row inmates watching pornography. When reached for comment, the California Department of Corrections Rehabilitation said the tablets were tightly controlled education tools that provided inmates with access to the Bible, education, and reentry resources that actually reduce crime. Obviously, there's a lot of concerns that taxpayer funds are going towards these tablets, and that is not what they're being used for. What are your concerns?
Well, look, the liberals have a warped sense of reality with respect to criminal. And that's why in the blue states you have high crime rates. And catering to criminals, who I would argue they're probably trying to stay in favor with to be able to vote in elections, which is always around votes, whether it's the Somali fraud in Minnesota or inmates in California. It all revolves around votes and staying in power for these liberal politicians. I don't think any American wants their hard-earned taxpayer dollars to go for programs like that for prisoners, for many on death row. We've got kids in public schools in vital need of technology to learn. These are our next generation of leaders. These are our next generation of workforce. And they're being neglected in liberal states because they want to provide luxury items to inmates. That's not where our tax dollars are supposed to go. And it's another example and a pattern where Gavin Newsom and other liberal blue state governors are abusing the American taxpayer.
Well, a lot of people watching are probably shocked at the revelations here. This is the Montana Attorney General on Fox and Friends earlier this morning, Mr. Chairman, who is making the case that blue states are seeing these massive fraud problems, but turning a blind eye. Listen.
Look at the states where you're finding the largest, just staggering amounts of this kind of fraud. It's the blue states. It's the Democrat states. That's just a fact. You look at Keith Ellison in Minnesota. You look at Javier Becerra, what's going on in California. I think we're just scratching the surface in California. I think we're going to uncover staggering amounts of this kind of fraud.
If that's the case, Mr. Chairman, that they know of the fraud, they see the problems, they turn a blind eye and ignore it, shouldn't they too be held accountable?
Absolutely, 100%. And that's what J.D. Vance's task force is all about. We're already seeing positive results from this task force. Todd Blanche and the new Department of Justice is doing a tremendous job in trying to prosecute these fraudsters. And I think President Trump's done a good job of cutting off the federal funding. The Democrats and their friends in the liberal media, they clutch their pearls anytime President Trump halts funding for welfare programs in these states, but they're being overrun with fraud and fraudsters, and they turn a blind eye because they don't care. It's just like manna from heaven. These government welfare programs in Washington. They've always gotten away with this fraud, and it's only gotten worse. And now we've got a president, we've got a Republican Congress, we've got a great vice president that's created this task force we're going to hear from in a minute, and we've got an acting attorney general that are serious about holding people accountable. And I think we're finally seeing some accountability. And I think the other thing from Congress's standpoint is we've got to cut off funding to these repeat offenders, people like Tim Walz in Minnesota, people like Gavin Newsom. Everyone in Congress wants to support welfare programs for the truly needy. But we don't want taxpayer dollars going for luxury items for death row inmates in California. We don't want taxpayer dollars to go for Somali leering centers and other, phony government welfare programs. We want it to go to the truly disabled and the elderly. And if you just depend on the Democrat governors like Walz and Newsom to do something about it, they're never going to do anything about it. So hopefully this task force that we're going to hear from is going to continue to be effective, and hopefully Congress and the president will continue to cut off funding for these repeat offenders like Gavin Newsom.
And you do get the sense that even some of these blue states that are starting to identify the problem, they're just waiting for it to be uncovered by some of the news media, like Fox, for example, and some other local politicians. So they are making this a big case at the federal level to root out this fraud, as the American public is outraged at the waste of taxpayer dollars, some of which are just outright stolen from them. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for joining us as we do await the vice president there live at the White House as he continues on his mission to root out this fraud. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.